So today we are going to talk about setting up your belt for success, because not everybody out there is going to set their belt up the same way as somebody else. Whew. All right, it is an absolute scorcher out here today. So make sure you check out the battle bottles. We've got these small ones and we've got the large ones. We've got the standard screw top and we have the sippy cup top. Should probably take my hearing protection off as well. So today we are going to talk about setting up your belt for success, because not everybody out there is going to set their belt up the same way as somebody else. A patrol officer out there in the street is not going to set their belt up the same way as a competitive shooter, or me out here on the range, or a SWAT guy, or a guy in the military or special operations. There's going to be a lot of different things that are going to go on different people's belts that could change the overall orientation from where your holster is, where your magazines are angled, and just all kinds of different things. So today we're going to talk about a few things just to get you started and to help you figure out where you might need to place things on your gun belt. All right, so my belt that we are going to talk about today, I'll take it out for you. It is the Blue Alpha Molle belt. This isn't per se about any specific brand or anything here, but more just a style of belt. So it is a Molle belt and it has a Cobra buckle here on the front, which these are super nice. Parachutist rigs use those. They are extremely strong. But one of the best parts about a belt like this, it is 1 3/4 inches thick right here. So that's very important, because if you wear those thicker belts like you see patrol guys out there in the street wearing, they're like 2 inches or 2 1/4 inches thick, they're really uncomfortable because they put a lot of pressure on your hip area, your kind of low belly, your kind of high hip area, into the femoral arteries, and they just pretty much make your legs go numb. And they've actually been tied to a lot of injuries in the back and everything. The government, the Department of Justice, and I think Black Hawk was involved in it, and the Florida Neurological Institute did a study and showed that belts that thick actually were injurious and caused injury to people wearing them for long periods of time. But let's talk about how we're going to set a belt like this up. Obviously, you can see I've got 3 magazine carriers on here for my pistol mags. So I predominantly run around in the world out there with a pistol. So I want as many immediate mags I can get for that thing right up front. Next to that is going to be my rifle magazine. So this would be on the side of my hip. And these are what's called your first line. So this is your immediate, oh my God, I need to reload my pistol right now. This is what you go for. I've got a dump pouch, which you can put lickies and chewies or snacks or gummy bears, but I have some empty mags in there right now. On the back side, I can get from either right or left is going to be my med pouch. That is a full blowout kit in there. That one is from Live the Creed. Great setup from those guys over there. And then on this side, I have a multi-tool and another pistol pouch. And then I have my holster. So this is a Black Hawk Omnivore. I only use this for range practice because this is not a duty holster, although it is a retention holster. It hooks onto the light, not the gun itself, so it can be defeated. And then in front of that, again, on that first line grab area, I have a tourniquet. You'll see I also have a leg strap here on the holster. That is so the holster doesn't flop up like this while I'm doing my draw. In case I'm a little bit off, I want that pistol to come straight up out of the holster, and that leg strap can help. One of the biggest things people get wrong is their actual holster height here. So you basically want to be able to have this thing on you. Put this back on real quick. And you want to have this so the bottom of the holster is kind of right here where your hand would naturally go into your leg. If you're any higher than that, it could be really weird. You could have to kind of cant your body to lift it. And if you're any lower than this right here, you might have to drag down to draw your pistol out, neither of which is good. So a good place to start is right about there where your hand would kind of naturally curl under. That way when you go to draw, you don't have to move your body all around, whether it is go down or whether it's scrunch over. You want to have a draw right about there so you can come up and present that firearm. All right, because the wind absolutely sucks, we're gonna have to finish the rest of this video inside, because out there in those hills and the mountains where I'm shooting, once that wind gets started, you absolutely can't even hear me. So talking about another belt right here. This specific one is an AWS gear belt. They make awesome stuff, US made. They make a lot of equipment for special operations guys. Wilder tactical pouches on here. Alien Gear Rapid Force Duty holster. Dump pouch here by Flatline Fiber. And again, another Live the Creed medical kit. But as you can see right here, the magazine pouches are canted at an angle. Give you guys a good look at those right there. Now there's a time and a place for that. And you can see it's a very different orientation as compared to the rifle pouch that's there on the side. Now there is a definite reason, get rid of that, why you might want to either angle your pouches or move them all the way off to the side. It's going to be pretty specific, but think about something in the case of, say, this plate carrier right here. Okay, so once our plate carrier is on and we're all buttoned up here, if you've got one of these little marsupial hanger pouches on your plate carrier, imagine trying to get to your pistol magazine if it's right there. That could pose a bit of a problem. So you're either going to need to have it angled or you're going to need to have it all the way off to the side right there, especially when you're all locked in here. Buckle this up. And you guys can see just how tight this area is going to be. So trying to get to a magazine under here, probably not the best idea. If you run a hanger pouch like this, this is an HRT plate carrier. I love these ones because they're fully modular. You can put everything you want on the back there and it zips off. And then you've got fast text buckles right here to get rid of everything else and change to whatever placard you want on the front or the back. So when you are building your belt, you really need to think about your loadout. Are you going to be wearing a plate carrier like this? And if not, you don't want a plate carrier, what about a chest rig? Well, say you want to carry a chest rig like this one from HSGI with HSGI tacos on it. Gives you the ability to carry more magazines for your rifle. You can get 3 across there, or you can get a couple of pistol magazines in there, or some medical kit like a tourniquet in any of these pouches. And of course, you can always adapt more gear to it with another hanger pouch like this, which this one from HSGI also doubles as a fanny pack if you're into the tack to fanny. But again, this is a situation if you want to have a light rig like this with just that extra gear and pretty much anything else you can put on here, this Velcro, maybe you need to change your magazine orientation, because again, reaching here under this while doing an emergency reload or a slide lock reload, probably not the best idea. And up here, this is really considered a second line area. So your belt is your first line. As you're shooting, the belt is where you should go to reload from first because it's the fastest. If you're having to reach up here, acquire a magazine, come back out here, load that magazine, it just takes precious time. And if you're in an emergency scenario, belt line is going to be the fastest way, or coming off of here is just going to be a little bit slower. Now, if there are 2 things you're going to take away from this video, number 1 is going to be none of these are definitives. Everything can change based on your mission set, your job, what environment you're going into, how permissive it is, how much ammunition and what type of ammunition you're going to need. And the other thing is, number 2, is that there's really 3 basic things you're going to need on a belt. At least this is my opinion. From my time in the military and the Rangers to law enforcement to out there training, running drills, doing security work, whatever it was, there are 3 things mandatory you need to have on here with their accompanying carrier. You need your pistol and a holster, you need your spare magazines and their carriers, and you need some form of medical on your belt at all times. Because think about it, if you're walking around out there with things that can make holes like a pistol and ammo and magazines, you need something that can plug holes too, because it's not always a one-way gunfight, right? At minimum, you need to carry a tourniquet, if at all possible, and you have the training and skills and abilities, and if you don't, you should probably go search for it. You need a full medical kit. That full medical kit should have a tourniquet, combat gauze or a quick clot in it, something like that. Chest seals, and probably nasal pharyngeals in case you have an obstructed airway. Now that sucks getting it done to you in real life, but you get over it pretty quick once you get a few of those things jammed up your nose. You need to get that training and experience on those. There's tons of classes out there. Heck, some of those classes like Stop the Bleed are even write-offs for you, and you can use like your retirement health savings card or something like that, and it'll pay for the kit and the class, which is pretty cool because if you buy the kit, the class is free. And since it's one of those items that you can write off on a retirement health savings, you basically just got free training on something for your medical coverage that you were going to buy anyway. So kind of a win-win there. And you can look for Stop the Bleed classes pretty much anywhere around you and they'll be put on. All right, before we get out here for the day, make sure you check out the battle bottles at the link down below in the description. You can use code TAC5, TAC5, get yourself 5% off at any point in time. We got the small ones, we got the big ones. Take them to the gym, take them outdoors, take them training with you. We've also got all of that fitness stuff up on the site for you so you can stay hydrated and you can stay healthy. Keep training out on the range and we'll see you on the next one.